that there is no objective value, essentially. So how do you defend that there is an objective value?
Okay.
I think all there is subjective value. Because
Okay.
it is all we have is our lives to live, and then essentially, we're done after. It
Good.
doesn't mean anything.
Good thinking.
So what is your defense that there is objective value?
Good. Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you for thinking so clearly. I mean, I've been out here arguing with atheists who say, oh, no, we do have meaning and purpose and value in an objective sense. No, if there is no God, you're right, we don't have any objective meaning and value. Okay, so why am I convinced that this man has just as much value if he was in a wheelchair than as if he was All-American in football? Because I am convinced that he was created by God for a purpose. And that purpose is not to make money and be an All-American. That purpose is to love God with his heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love his neighbor as himself. And guess what? He can do that from a wheelchair, a hospital bed, or he can do that as a CEO or as Tim Tebow.
So I understand,
it really doesn't matter.
I understand those are your beliefs, but what is your defense that objective value exists? That doesn't really prove that it exists. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right, but you understand it's consistent.
Yeah,
if I believe that
that's
God exists.
your belief, and then my belief is opposite, and I can respect that. That's
right.
your belief. But how do you prove that exists?
Okay, good. But wait a second. Let's just clarify for everybody here. I've respected you for your intellectual consistency in saying, because there is no God, there's no objective meaning and value to life.
Okay.
It's all meaningless,
Sure.
except in a subjective way that I created. And so you saying, Cliffe, I respect you for your intellectual consistency in saying, because I believe God created this man, it means he does have value, he does have purpose.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on, okay, so I respect you intellectually, you respect me intellectually. We're consistent, right? Okay, so then obviously the question becomes, what's the evidence that God exists? Right? Because it's real clear. We agree. If there is no God, the idea that this guy has meaning and purpose and value to life is a fantasy. It's a crock. So you're right. The question then is, does God exist? Okay, what do you think?
What do I think? Does he exist?
Right, does God exist?
In my opinion, no.
Okay, in your opinion, no. Why?
Because the scientific evidence that goes against all of the beliefs in the Bible, and just the beliefs of people that believe in God, they don't believe in science or evolution, and I do believe in that. So therefore, I have to believe that there is no God.
Okay, now all I can say is thank you. It is an honor talking with you. All right. Now, real loud so everybody can hear it. Why can you not believe that God exists?
Because I believe in science and evolution, and therefore in that belief they do not believe. That's how I have to believe that there is no God, essentially.
How does science contradict the existence of God?
By the theories of evolution.
Okay. So evolution disproves
because
God.
if you believe in God in the Bible, you believe that you were made in God's image, that he created you, essentially.
Right.
So I do not believe that. I believe that we are an evolved species of this earth. So therefore, I do not believe that God exists. Does that make sense?
Yes. But why have you concluded not just that evolution as a process is true, which I believe in as a theist, but you've accepted evolution as an origin, that we come from chance mutations and natural selection?
Yes.
Okay, now, sir.
Why is that so absurd? The universe is so incredibly huge. Why is that such a small chance? There's so many different possibilities.
Okay, but sir, when you tell me that evolution as an origin is true, you have parted company with science. That is a philosophy of science.
I believe in it, yes.
Okay, that's a philosophy.
I'm not
So
saying.
in fact, you don't reject God because of science. You reject God because of a branch of the philosophy of science that says there is no intelligent mind behind the process, whatever the process is.
Is there not
It's just chance and
scientific
fate.
proof of evolution, though?
Not
So
in
isn't
terms
it-
of
don't
origin.
They go hand in hand, essentially.
No. See, when you go from process to origin, you've moved from science, which is a study of process, to origin, which is philosophy. So you see, your real disagreement with God is not a scientific issue, it's a philosophical issue.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Are you sure?
Yeah, I understand.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like, and that's a real clear point. I was debating a Stanford grad. It was a professor at the University of Wyoming, and he says, you know, Cliffe, what really bugs me is how Christians try and use science to prove God exists. And I said, yes, sir, that's intellectually dishonest. It's dishonest to say, I can scientifically prove that God exists. But then I said, sir, wouldn't you also agree that for an atheist to try and use science to disprove that God exists is equally dishonest? He said, absolutely. I said, well, then what do you say to Stephen Gould at Harvard, that biology professor who passed away a number of years ago? He used to use evolution to intimidate the freshmen at Harvard into becoming atheists, saying, oh, come on, evolution is true, therefore there is no God. And he said, if Stephen Gould indeed taught that, that's intellectually dishonest.
Okay.
So I love this guy. He was really brutally objective.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right, well, I guess maybe the point I'm saying is then I don't believe that science can disprove God, but I believe that science can prove other, essentially, it can prove why, like my beliefs of why he doesn't exist.
Okay.
Which is evolution.
Can science tell you what the meaning of his life is?
No.
No. Can science tell you that this guy has value?
I guess not.
No. You see, those are not scientific questions. Those are philosophical questions. All right? So you guys got to watch out. A lot of people say to me, Cliffe, unless you can scientifically prove it, it's not true. But geez, that's a philosophy they're experiencing,
Okay, so
right?
evolution is a philosophical theory.
As an origin, not as a process, right?
Okay.
The process of studying.
So you have a problem with the origin, not the process.
Bingo, you got it. Okay?
Alrighty. Well, it's nice talking to you. All right, good to meet you. Yeah.